Hello, everyone. Wanted to review the study questions for James Madison's Federalist, number 10. Number one, what is a faction? He tells us in the beginning. And there's two important elements, and I think they both have to be there to really qualify as his definition or his conception of what a faction is. First is that it's a group united by a common passion or interest. I guess a passion for this or that, something that animates us, or some interest that we have, something particular to us. That's the first thing. It's a group united by a common passion or interest, but that in the pursuit of that interest and the common passion, we are actuated to do something adverse to the rights of others. And that last part is important. That is, a faction is not just a benign group of people who share some kind of common interest. It's people who, in banding together and pursuing that interest, do something adverse to the rights of others. Now, one of the things I think I said in class is that that's a little vague, what adverse to the rights of others means. But I think it has to be there to really. But there's something injurious about factions. That's the whole point of him writing this. Factions are dangerous. Why? Because factions, I guess, tend to violate other people's rights. And if we think about the right that probably is foremost in his mind, it's the property rights, because the faction that he's most concerned with is the poor and their encroachments on the property rights of the rich or the middle class. That's at least my reading of it. But if I have some notion that factions are dangerous, why are they dangerous? Because they do things that are adverse to the rights of other citizens. Number two, how does Madison propose to deal with the problem of faction? I guess the first thing to say is what he doesn't think the proper way to deal with it is, and that is by doing away either with liberty or with diversity of opinion in human nature. That the latter is impossible. He says that faction is inevitable given human nature. We have different interests and different ideas, and we're going to pursue them and collide with each other. So you can't get rid of that diversity, and you can get rid of liberty, but you don't want to. So, because then the cure would be worse than the disease. We'd live in an unfree society. If you're going to have a free society, you're going to have factions. It's just natural that they'll develop. So what you don't want to do is to try to deal with factions by eliminating the causes of faction, because either you're going to eliminate liberty, which you don't want to do, or you're going to eliminate the diversity of human beings, which you can't do. So the first is that those are not his solutions, right? Those are not his solutions. Those are the solutions that he says we don't want to pursue. The solution that we do want to pursue is not to eliminate the causes of faction, but to control its effects, to moderate its effects. That is his solution. And he believes that the best you can do to moderate the effects, the injurious effects of faction, is a republic, a representative democracy, rather than a direct democracy, which he thinks is too dangerous and that will not provide the proper restraints. I think the prime difficulty in this essay, the most difficult part of it, is what comes next, and that is, what are his reasons for thinking that republics will actually moderate the effects of faction. I think that part of it has to do with it has to do with the whole idea of representative democracy rather than direct democracy. That the larger scope of the representative democracy, republics can be larger. And so the representatives of the people will be more diverse and will be, he thinks, people who will be more likely to be moderate, to be less likely to be a mere mouthpiece for a faction, and more likely to feel that they have to represent everyone. Whether that's true, I don't know. It does seem to me that he's got something of an argument when he says that if that representative has to, get reelected, being an extremist is not the way to get. You've got to moderate your opinions and the way you express them, whom it is you're serving. to get elected. So, but it's difficult. We're trying to get over in class, but his reasons he definitely thinks that the answer is a republic. That's the whole point of the essay. But why a republic and how a republic would moderate the effects? It's not exactly completely clear to me what his argument is. So, that is what it is. Okay, so 3, what do you think of Madison's solution? Would it work? Why or why not? Well, somebody pointed out it worked. Well, we're living with in Madison's world. He won. He got his republic. So the evidence is all around us. Do we feel that our country is rife with factionalism, that is, people pursuing their common passion, injurious to or adverse to the rights of other citizens? I guess that's for each of us to decide. Do we live in a country where the representatives are moderate and not extremists who are the head of a faction willing to invade or injure the rights of others, or do we not? I mean, that's a judgment call, I guess, on all our parts.